In this video, I will show you the strategy I use to compound wealth at 20% per year. I've been using this exact method for a decade and I have achieved a performance of 25% per year. My name is Christophe Nour. If you are new to this YouTube channel, welcome. This is a channel for stock pickers and the goal of this YouTube channel is to make you a better investor. And I'm about to show you the template that I share with my students in my coaching program because this is exactly what we do and exactly what I teach them in the coaching program. So let's start from the beginning. This is the complete method. At the end of this video, you will have a clear process, a clear framework, all the steps you need to do so that you can compound your wealth. You can find stocks, opportunities that can generate around 20% per year. Maybe 15, maybe 18%, maybe 22%, around 20%. I know it because I've been doing this, so this is evidence-backed. Okay, let's start from the first point. The first step, obviously, is to generate investment ideas. At the left, you see here, a big, important step is your idea generation. How do you generate new stock ideas? So how to generate new ideas? You can run a screener. I've made some videos about this one. You can put some filters with some key metrics, because the goal of this portfolio is not to invest in net value, pure value investing, only by very cheap companies, regardless of the quality. The goal of this strategy that I have used is to pick great companies with great management, with a long runway at a fair price, at a cheap price. You don't want to overpay for this. So this is the pattern. So to have a huge filter for good metrics is very good. Okay, in other words, find a screener on the internet. My favorite one is FinChat. You have a link in the description below if you want to use it. And you put key metrics for growth. Check for the past 10 years the earnings per share, if they have grown 10-15% per year annually for the past 10 years. Check the free cash flow per share. Take the high margins, for example, high gross margins, operating margins, net margins. This is a great tool to generate a lot of investment ideas. And don't only look in the US. Don't only look at American companies. You can look at European companies, Asian companies, all around the world. It completely works. The idea generation process is an infinite tool to generate new ideas. And once you are sick of the stock screeners, when you are bored with it, you can try using social media. Strangely enough, social media is a great way to find new investment ideas. So I know maybe you watch other YouTube channels and they always talk about the same companies. Okay, but dig deeper. Look at small YouTube channels, niche, micro cap stuff, small caps, mid caps. Look at Twitter, X. There are plenty of good accounts on Twitter that publicly share their investment ideas. Look at Substacks, look at blogs. If you are a curious person, you can find infinitely new ideas. This is how you generate ideas. So you turn rocks and you turn rocks again and again and again. And every 10 companies that you will find, maybe you will like one. You will like one. If you look at 20 companies, maybe you will like 2. And again and again, and every day, if you look at 10 tickers, if you are a curious person, if you look at 10 companies every day, you are forced to find good investment ideas. And so you have blogs, articles, if you follow the news, if you are a curious person, if you, read the Wall Street Journal, you will read some articles. And if you are a curious person, you are forced to find new ideas for the stock. That's a great tool, infinite tool. And if you have some friends that invest in the stock market, you can talk with some friends and find new stocks. That's the way I do it also. I just discuss with people and it seems like we are passionate about a subject, about a topic. We look at the companies and that's how it's done. So now you know how to do it. You have plenty of sources completely for free on the internet. You can use the screening process, paid tools, free tools, anything can work. You have articles, Substacks, Twitter, etc. And I would advise to start with the companies you're familiar with. Start with the companies you already know. If you drink Red Bull energy drinks, you can look at Monster Energy. You can look Monster Beverage. You can look at Celsius Holdings, so the energy drinks. If you use a MacBook laptop, look at Apple. If you use Facebook, Instagram, look at Meta platforms and go dig deeper, because you have Meta platforms, but you also have Pinterest, you also have Snapchat, you also have plenty of other social media companies, either in the US, but also in Europe. What about Europe? What about Asia? What about the Twitch version of China? This is, you can look it up. That's a great company that paid a large dividend recently. So yeah, very interesting companies around the world. I mean, check the Twitch platform. I mean, here is a ticker for you. Check the Twitch platform, like the streaming platform of Korea. The ticker symbol is SOAP, SOOP, SOAP Co. Look at this. Look on the internet. Thanks me later. Growing revenue, growing earnings, no debt, a lot of cash, a lot of free cash flow, and seems like a very healthy, profitable business that is growing. Nobody wants to look at the SOAPCO. Who looks at SOAPCO? I mean, and this is my job. This is also what I teach to my students. Look for companies where nobody is looking. Okay, next step. Now you have a bunch of ideas. How do you analyze them? I mean, you have generated the idea, but let's look at step 2. Step 2, financial analysis. On this channel, I've made plenty of videos how to see the key metrics. What is important when you analyze a stock? What is not important when you analyze the stock? What are the ratios that you can monitor? And the goal of this financial analysis basically is to dismiss the investment idea as fast as possible. If you don't like the margins are decreasing, for example, dismiss. It's a pass. Go and find another business. If you don't like the EPS, the earnings per share, earnings per share growth, you don't feel like it, no, dismiss it. If you don't like the return on invested capital, the return on investment, the reinvestment process, dismiss. If they dilute shareholders with more shares, dismiss. The goal is to only keep the best, so you have to dismiss the average, mediocre company. And if you do this properly, you will avoid a lot of traps. Because you will avoid the dying businesses. You will avoid the businesses that are at peak earnings. So earnings grow a lot and then decrease a lot. So you don't want to invest at this peak earnings. And you will dismiss maybe half of the companies here, maybe more than this. By the way, if you're looking for a complete framework to analyze stocks and build a strong portfolio, I have a coaching program. More on that at the end of the video. The second analysis you have to do is the competitive advantage analysis. The goal of this portfolio to generate 20% per year, the goal is to invest in good, superior companies that are better than competition and will stay better than competition. So you want to see if they have a moat. You want to see if they have a competitive advantage. How can you check if this is the case? I mean, you can check some key metrics like gross margins. If you have a company with a high gross margin, that means that they have pricing power, so that could mean something. You can also check at high ROIC, return on invested capital. If you have a sustained high return on invested capital, like 20% per year, 30% per year, that could be a way to identify a moat. And then you go deeper. What is the moat? A moat can be the branding, like Ferrari. I mean, everybody knows Ferrari cars. A moat can be a switching cost. I mean, if you are editor and you use Photoshop or any Adobe product, it's very hard to switch. I mean, I've been editing my videos for 15 years, so for fun, for some friends, etc. So I have Final Cut Pro X on this laptop. I don't want to learn another editing tool. I don't care about the price. I don't care about this. It's just too hard. There is a switching cost. I know maybe that Adobe is better than what I currently have, but the cost of learning a new platform, editing, how to cut the shortcuts on the keyboards, that I don't want to. You have a switching cost. That's a moat. In the editing software industry, is an industry filled full of companies with moat because people are lazy like me. I don't want to learn a new software. Okay, you have another moat like scale. Like, I mean, Facebook, we have 3 billion people on Facebook. If you want to reach out to somebody, You can just connect on Facebook or Instagram. That's very easy. You have WhatsApp. That's different kind of moat, and you have plenty of other moats. Cost advantage. I mean, the scale. Everything can work properly. Some companies have some lens, like Mutai. They make bottles of liquors of beiju in China, and this kind of beiju, this kind of alcohol, can only be made in some land. Okay. And this company owns the land, so nobody can take them away from them. Nobody can make beiju as good as them. They own the land. This is it. That's like for us French guys, we have wine lands. Imagine if, or champagne, imagine if the best champagne in the world was made in a certain square kilometer, an acre of land in the south of France. That's it. If you own this land, nobody can take this away from you. You are the best of the world, and you will stay the best. You will stay the best for 10, 20 years, 50 years. I mean, if you want some good champagne, good wine, come to France, come to Paris, come to my house, and we will drink some wine. That's the life of our country, and that's our moat as French people. So yeah, take the competitive advantage. You want a sustainable moat. You don't want a moat that will erode after 3 years, 4 years. You want a moat that has been here for a while and will continue to be here in the future. And the last part of this analysis side is to check the management. You basically want to invest in great companies, yes, a great moat, yes, and also great management. You want a management that is honest and competent. How can you see if a management is honest and competent? That's a very good question. You check the track record. I mean, we are investing in public equities where there is a public track record. In other words, you can check what the CEO has said for the past 10 years, 20 years, since he was appointed, basically. You can check all the quarterly reports, earnings calls, interviews on CNBC, etc. You can check if management is honest, if they have kept their promises. You can say if management knows how to do a good guidance. And basically, we are now in 2024. Imagine we are in 2020 and the CEO says, okay, over the next 5 years, we plan to do this of revenue, this of net income. The CEO says a guidance for the next 5 years. Now we are almost in 2025. Did he or she reach their objective? So revenue, net income. You can check the guidance if they underpromised, overpromised, overdeliver, underdeliver. You can check if they are competent, honest. So if you check the past 20 years of track record and they have reached their guidance every time, this is a very good way to trust management. And in the future, if in 2027 they say something, oh, we plan to reach this over the next 5 years, you know that you can trust them because they have been trustworthy for the past 20 years, 30 years. So that's the management. You can also check how management sees the business on earnings calls, but that's more qualitative side. And what do I have here? Yeah, so this work of analysis, financial analysis, moat analysis, management analysis, this is partly quantitative but also qualitative. You see, you can check some words, some tone of voice, some guidance stuff. This is not purely quantitative. So I had the conversation a few days ago about AI that would replace us investors. I don't know if AI would be able to do as good a job as us for the qualitative side, because this is a sense of judgment, human relationships. Maybe they can, and maybe we are screwed, and AI will be better investors. But I mean, for the moment, it seems like a lot of the analysis is qualitative. So for the moment, robots are not there. Hopefully for us. Okay. Now that you have filtered out bad businesses with bad financials, with bad management, with bad runway, with bad moat, you only keep the best. You dismiss. You dismiss. This is a big decreasing amount of stocks, and at the end you have the remaining best stocks out of your list. Valuation is quite important. You want to invest in the best stocks, in the best companies, in the best management. Yep, but you don't want to overpay for this. So valuation is pretty important. What I teach my students is to look at absolute valuation. You can look at the PE ratio just on a pure basis or some quick DCF, quick math, and relative valuation. So you compare the valuation, PE ratio, price to free cash flow, compare it to competition, compare it to itself for the past of the stock. For example, if the stock has always been trading at 20 times earnings and now it's at 7, you can say that compared to average in the past, yes, it's quite cheap compared to past performance. So higher likelihood of rebounded from 7 to 20, this kind of stuff. But we are never precise. Another tip for you is to never be precise for valuation, because we are living in a changing world, changing companies. Companies are living entities, so year over year they will change. The environment will change. I don't see the point of being very precise on valuation. You just want a rough idea of, okay, is this stock undervalued, overvalued, or fairly valued? If it's overvalued by 30%, by 50%. You want to check this kind of range. I'm never precise in my valuation. I just want to have in quick math in my head what is going on. You can forecast the free cash flow in a couple of years, in the next 3 years, for example. Do a quick DCF, but be a harsh grader and rough analyzer of valuation. And if after doing this work of valuation, if you think that the stock you just analyzed is cheap, you keep it. Only invest in strong companies at a cheap price. If the stock you just analyzed is expensive, create a watch list and add this stock that you just analyzed with the qualitative, quantitative stuff, add it to your watch list. Put a target price on it. Say, okay, it's overvalued by 50%. So if it drops to this price, let me go back to it. Put an alert on your phone, mail, anything, an alert, but set it aside, and that's fine. And you only keep the businesses that are either fairly valued or cheap at the moment, and you build a strong portfolio. And this is, what do I have here? Oh yeah, this is what I teach my students. Why is it moving? After you build your strong portfolio with winning companies, winning management, winning sustainable competitive advantages at a cheap price, fairly price, monitor the portfolio. I mean, this is quite important. If you don't monitor the portfolio, imagine you buy a stock at a fair price and the stock price doubles, so valuation is stretched. What do? That's a very good question. Either you hold, but the PE has reached, 40, PE of 40. Do you hold? Do you sell to take the money and then reinvest in a cheaper business, or do you buy more because this is a winning company? What do you do? This is the kind of stuff we do in our coaching program, and this is the strategy I've been using for 7 years. This is proof. My performance is public. My portfolio is public. You can check live the stocks that I'm buying, I'm selling, and so far it has been working. This is the reason I have generated the performance above 20%. So yeah, in case you're interested, this is the complete method. If you like this content, I have an investing coaching program. In this program, you will learn a complete investing process. You will learn how to find good stock ideas, how to properly value stocks, when to buy, when to sell, so that you can build a strong portfolio with great companies. Additionally, in this coaching program, you will have access to my personalized guidance for long-term results. We will do weekly calls where we analyze stocks together, and you will have access to my private number available 24/7 for full support. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. Click the first link in the description below to get more information. You will get a short video that explains how everything works completely for free. No need for your mail address. Just click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.